In a video. Excuse me, automation is not a big deal when you get killed by automation. My name is Leonardo Annese. I'm from Italy. I work with Annese, which is the national road agency. We manage 30,000 kilometers of roads, highways, bridges, and tunnels. And I'm also a member of the National Road Safety Technical Committee of PIERC. And thank you so much for your work, for inviting us. The president of the Polish National Committee. So I hope we will see you in Abu Dhabi next October. So now I want to ask you a question. How many of you know what is the death toll each year in the world caused by road accidents? Do you know any? No? Well, you're lucky. You're not one of them. It's 1,350,000 people die each year on roads. It's like a big city dying altogether. So we cannot accept that. And Vision Zero is a vision, but does not give you the instruments to reach that goal. Or, well, it gives, but it's difficult to take them to reality. We have a new solution, which is not a dream, but is actually reality. That is, the solution is technology. Technology will help us solve the death toll and the injuries. How are we going to do that? Automated driving. That means a vehicle without the driver. Means you're sitting in the car or the vehicle. You're not steering, you're not braking, you're not changing gear, you're not worrying about what is going around you because you're not driving the car. The car is doing the driving. And how does the car do that? That's me. Okay, the future, see, 120 years ago, that's what cars were like. And the first time a car went on the road, they killed the person. So they said, oh my God, we cannot accept that. The future is flying drones. In Dubai, they already have flying drones. People flying with flying taxis and no one is driving them. So we have the technology. So what is automated driving? Automated driving is not just a mobility matter. It is a societal change, a great change in the way of seeing and living our societies, our cities, our roads. Because we will not worry about driving, we will not worry about dying, we will not worry about damaging people and things. And that is a better way of living. And our cities will be more respectful of the environment, of the people, they were more environmental acceptable. And the human being will be brought back to the center of the attention, not the vehicle. And so, some people say that automated driving will increase the amount of cars because it will be easier, but actually it doesn't. And actually, it will cut cars in a city once it has reached 100% of automated vehicles on the roads, of like 20% vehicles of the previous number. So imagine you have 100,000 vehicles in a street, in a city, and then you will, after automation is active, you will have only 20,000. So you can imagine all our roads will only 20% of the number of cars, which is also very good for the pollution, because the automation is also meaning electrical cars. Of course, oil will not be the fuel anymore, and that's what that direction we're going. So that is, our cities will be back for us, for our families, for free time, with cycling and everything. So, and another important thing, which is a big change in our way of thinking, is that we will not longer need to own the car. So people will not want to have a bigger car, a faster car, a better looking car, because you are going to share cars. Nowadays, you can share cars in your city. You can have an app and say, I'm here, where is the next car? You go there, open the car, get in, don't worry, you don't have to pay tax, you don't have to pay the fuel, you don't have to pay insurance and everything. Just go and leave it wherever you get charged very little fare, and you don't have to worry about it. So sharing is the future for everything. And why do we have road accidents? Because of people. It is also a matter of good infrastructure safety, but people are 90% the cause of road accidents. Distraction. We get distracted by cell phones, we're writing text, we're hearing music, we're going to do something to the kid who is making noise, we're looking at someone outside the windows, and we bump into things. We kill people, we go off the road because we are distracted. Automated car does not get distracted. It is doing the driving for you, and that's the only task it's doing. It's not getting distracted by anything. So that is a way of having the death toll drop to 0. Anyway, this is already working. On airplanes, automated flying is the rule. Pilots do not really hold the wheel all the time, except sometimes on landing. But now landing can be done with automated landing. Everything, when there is fog or there is something you don't see, the airplane knows exactly how to land, and we don't worry about it. We don't think that it's automated. We think there is the pilot driving, but actually the pilot is not driving. So why don't we bring this kind of technology into cars? And it's safe. How many accidents happen on airplanes? Very, very few, compared to the ones that bring 1,350,000 people dying on our roads. Road safety, as someone said before, the European Union, road safety, this is the road safety international sign. The United Nations Organization, the WHO, they spent enormous amounts of money and time in these past decades to work on road safety. And the Vision Zero is still far to be reached. Nowadays, the future is almost there. Automated driving is already in our cars, partially. All cars now have the ABS, the automatic braking system, which saves lives because it helps the car to brake not in a random but in a controlled way. And there are what we call ADAS, automatic driving systems, which are, for example, the automatic braking system. You've seen that in the newest models, if you're distracted and you're not seeing that you're going to bump into a car or a person, the car automatically takes over and brakes. So you're avoiding a big accident in our city roads, and you're avoiding killing people, and you're avoiding big queues behind you because you stopped and you have an accident. That is one of the main causes in our city roads of accidents. These ADAS systems are more and more getting into our cars, into the newly produced cars. Once ABS was only in very high-level models and was very expensive. Now all cars have it. Automatic braking system is getting into new cars, and this is what I was saying. And so they take over the mistakes of the human. So human is the cause. How do I solve the problem? I remove the cause. I remove the human. And European Parliament lately introduced a regulation saying that all new models must have ADAS in their new cars. So the road safety, the safety systems in the car are going to be more and more advanced, and road accidents will be less and less as we go on. Of course, as my colleague before me said, the cars are very old in Europe, like 30% are old models, and it's expensive to upgrade the car if you have an old model or get a new car, and that's something the authorities should implement, giving benefits those who buy a new car with a 5-star Euro Cup. And so it's a way of thinking, and this is how we have to move on. And the car, well, how does the system work? if I'm in an automated vehicle, I have to see where I am and see how is the road and see the other vehicles and predict what other vehicles are going to do. This is all things that a human driver is doing, but sometimes he's not doing it because he's distracted. And a series of things. And the devices are already there. We have all the systems that can do that. We have the cameras, the LiDAR, the radar, the ultrasonics, the microphones, everything. All these things combined together can help the car detect exactly what to do and what the other cars are doing. So it's an exchange of information among vehicle to vehicle, vehicle to infrastructure, and vehicle to X, which is to other things. So the street also has to be intelligent. Okay. Okay. This is I can leave there in the presentation. You can have a look at it afterwards, and you can start the video. And this gives you an idea of what the car sees, an automated car, how the car sees the environment. And there are the Polish subtitles. I managed to find the Polish subtitles. So you see, this is the image the car sees. All the other cars, the pedestrians, the cyclists, and you can predict who is going to come from the right, from the left, and if there are works going on. And see, this is the actual vision that the human sees, and this is what the car sees. And of course, the car knows who is going to come, and is going to slow down, or just turn, or move. And everything is predicted to the millimeter. So there is no chance of bumping into another car, or kill a person, or kill a cyclist who is incoming into my lane, because you cannot predict what people have in mind. But you know, the car knows where it is, the speed it's going, and what it's going to do, what kind of vehicle it is. If it's a lorry, if it's a car, if it is a bus with people on. And so it's got everything in its vision, with all the radar, LiDAR, sensor, cameras and everything. So everything is exactly like people. You see the little people, you see the bicycles, and so you see everything that comes in and out. Okay, so you see that nothing is left to chance, because we know exactly where to go. Okay, can we stop the video? Let's go to the next slide. I cannot move. Okay. Okay, and as I was saying, a smart vehicle also needs a smart road, because vehicle to infrastructure interaction is important. It's not necessary. I mean, an automated vehicle can go without an automated, a smart road. But smart roads can help the vehicle to read the road conditions, to read what other vehicles. Maybe a few miles ago there is a road accident, so there is a communication between the road management, the road infrastructure, with Internet of Things, who are going to tell the road management central station what is going on, and even the cars can tell the road that they're encountering problems. If they see, if the car reads an oil spot on the road, which is dangerous, it will communicate it, and they will communicate it to the central, and the central will communicate it to other cars. So it's exchange of knowledge and of facts among cars, road users, even not cars, even cyclists can have an earphone and telling them, look, 200 meters ahead of you there is a road accident, slow down, or keep track, or just turn and do another alternative road. So, and it creates this kind of virtuous circle that at the end, it helps the road user and the human being, because you reduce the time of travel, you reduce your energy consumption, your anxieties. In Annese, in Italy, we are working on a smart road project, which is developing on our main road. It's a very expensive program, but we certainly believe in it, and we have all these implementations. So this is Italy, and we are implementing it on the the north-south highway, which is over 400 kilometers, the Rome Circle Line, and the Rome to Rome Fiumicino Airport, which is other 30 kilometers, and up north, because there are going to be the Winter Olympics, and we are making the roads that go to the places where the Olympics are to be, to make them smart, so to facilitate access to the Olympics. And what happens if a car detects a danger? Because if I'm driving and I see a kid in front of me, but my brakes don't work, I don't know what to do. And if I turn right, I bump into a wall and I die. Or if I go straight, I kill the kid. I can decide myself what to do, what is my instinct. But a car who is driven by automated intelligence, how does the car decide what to do? And the Moral Machine experiment by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology is world famous. They proposed models like this, and they spread it to millions of people around the world. Like say the car has to decide, should I kill this two or should I kill the other two? And we have to tell the car, to teach the car what our ethical principles are. And this is something we really have to work about, because this could be one of the hindrances of automated driving. European Commission has a commission working on it, and they already made the first workout this year, in March, and they're producing a real thing that all member states will have to adapt to. And not only Europe, but this is going to be something worldwide, because ethical principles are not the same everywhere. If I drive in Italy, I would decide not to kill the kid. If I drive in England, I would not kill a cat or a dog, because they're very animal friendly. If I drive in Afghanistan, a man or a woman, I probably kill the woman. I mean, I'm talking hypothetically. But things are different all over the world. So how do we decide for a common shared principle? This is a problem that we cannot ignore, because we will have to have algorithms equal for everyone. Because the car producers in South Korea will sell the cars in Afghanistan, in Italy, in England, and the algorithm has to be the same for everyone. And the algorithm is also known because it learns. So you put something in the machine, waiting for an output, but the algorithm elaborates it, and maybe the output is different because they thought, because machines think, of a better solution, which you didn't think at the beginning. And is the solution going to be acceptable for the human? That is another problem. Okay, that's the past, that's the future, that's Vision Zero, and have a nice future.
Thank you, Mr. Annese.